Well, earlier, Kevin Owen discussed the issue with Tim Dieppe from the Christian Concern Group and also social commentator Mo Ansah.
The key message of Christianity and the whole reason why we celebrate Christmas is because Jesus was born as a human being and yet was God as well and came down, and it's an incredible thing to think that God became a human being, but that's what actually happened and that's what we're celebrating here. And they wanted to remove a reference as well to Jesus being king and Jesus being saviour. If we don't have those things, what are we celebrating? I think it's a massive distortion.
Let's be quite clear. Jesus wasn't God. He was, I'd agree, from a theological perspective, I'd agree he was a mighty messenger, a prophet. There is very little theological evidence. The public space and the educational space is one which is secular. It does not mean it is bereft of theology or educational belief or conscience, but is inclusive of it. So if we want to have standing advisory councils on religious education that include all strains of, all walks of life, humanism as well, and atheism, and people who want to come on there with sort of more fringe views, they are included nowadays. The question is whether children should be free to opt out from a nativity where it's Mary, Jesus, a baby Jesus in a manger.
That is not the question. That is not the question.
In a barn, in a stable, which isn't true.
Well, I think that's up to the parents whether they think it's an awkward position. I think they could come and watch if they wanted to. If they're really so upset about people saying Jesus is Lord that they have to not even be in the same presence, there's something to talk about there. Why are they so upset about people saying Jesus is Lord? And can't they even go and watch and observe it? You know, and so I think I'd want to discuss that with them. But ultimately, I want to respect their right. If they want to opt out of it, they can opt out of it. And other provisions should be made for that.
The head teacher has seen that she has had 60 pupils who last year opted out from religious services, worshipful activities, and under the Education Act, collective worship is wholly or broadly of a Christian tradition, but it doesn't have to be particularly Christian.
The question is not whether they're allowed to opt out. They did opt out. That's not the question.
If people want to opt out, no. The question...
No, you're distorting the question. The question is whether you should change the wording of carols. It's not whether people should opt out. Everyone agrees that people can opt out.
Why would I want my
Everyone agrees that people can opt out.
So
this is not the question. The question is whether you should change the wording of traditional carols to remove the key belief of Christianity and turn it into something that's non-Christian after all. That's the question.
Islam at its best is the completion of God's revelation. We are not here to supersede Christians. We're here to live alongside people and one another. And in a modern secular society, in the educational space, we need to have a plural system where everybody is welcome. This is the same old tired arguments that somehow
Christianity is not welcome.
Migrants are
when you have to change the words of Christianity,
these are not
you're saying Christianity is not welcome. You're saying belief and saying
change
that
the word. Sorry, to say baby Jesus instead of Lord Jesus is not changing the fundamental tenets of Christianity.
No, you're the one that's being intolerant here because you're saying they shouldn't sing the words that Jesus is Lord. That's the intolerant attitude here.